Hey gamers, Games of James here. Yep, I'm back. Another video. This time we're doing Grok, a rules light OSR FKR inspired role playing game on the Gonzo planet of Grok. Welcome to the Games of James. I'm James, you're you. Now that introductions are over, let's get to the game. So Grok is, I picked this up at Exalted Funeral. I paid for this with my own money. I am not affiliated with any website or author or whatnot. Grok is done by Lester Burton, and it clocks in at, the PDF clocks in about around 40 pages cover to cover. Yeah, so let's get right into it. Take a look at this awesome cover. The cover is pretty great artwork. That is probably one of the highlights of this book, is this trippy artwork. When we go through it, they have the inspiration like a lot of OSR self-published games. This one is Electric Bastion Land. The usual suspects are here. However, as we go through this, you're going to see that this person takes the worst aspects of every game and shoves it into this game. I did Volts of Varn. I said this is a game that has a great setting and great rules. This is a great setting with terrible rules. So those of you who don't know, FRK is, or FKR rather, is free Kessler, blah, blah, blah. Essentially, it is a movement in games where it is supposed to emulate these old German war games that they had military officers do, where they, essentially gave everyone, they stripped away the rules and made things free. That's what FRK or FKR stands for. This is a rulings over rules design, challenge-oriented, adventure-focused gameplay adaptable to any setting, universal slot resource management system, player-facing dice pool, description-based action modifiers, player-directed fail-forward mechanics. Yeah. So, when you're going through it, again, the artwork in this is absolutely amazing. I love it. The rules, they're just not there. When you first look at the rules, you're going to look at them and think this doesn't work. When you actually play it and go through the motions, you find that it does work. To me, they're just not that great. In this one, you have aspects, which is very loosely defined. Your attributes, you only have 3, physical, mental, and social. And the way you determine that is you roll a 12-sided die, and then you distribute. You get this chart here with all of the different dice that you can assign. When you want to do a type of action to see what the outcome is, you roll your related die, and 1 to 4, you didn't succeed. 5 to 9, you succeeded. 10 plus, and something great happens. And that's for everything. Advantages and disadvantages, like in any other game, you roll 2 dice and you get the better result or worse result. Yeah. I mean, there's no classes, there's no races. You just make a character and decide what it's going to be, what it looks like, whatever. Resources are done by slots, and so is your health. Because if you take damage from a free-form combat, someone hits you with a stun ray, you put stunned as on your resource slot. When you're out, you start taking yeah. Yeah. You start taking damage, and then you get conditions. If you get conditions that are put as a quality, then your stat dice start going down to the next size lower, and then if it goes below a D4, your character dies. I don't like these rules. Some people do. Some people love this very free form, and I totally get that. It's, I'm not knocking if anyone has played this game and they absolutely love the rules. More power to them. You know, it's a free world. You love what you love. I can't question that. However, like, character creation is just like too. Yeah, I promise that, like, I try to only do reviews of things that I like. I just don't like the rules in character generation. You know, they try to tell you how to run the game, and the director is the game master, and instead of calling people NPCs, they call them DCs, director characters, which confuses the hell out of me because DC usually stands for difficulty class. They try to tell you how to create a good encounter. It just doesn't. To me, it just doesn't work. But what does work for this game, and the reason why I think that everyone should actually have it, is that it is an awesome, awesome setting. The creativity of this setting is actually really good, and it gives you a lot of different options. So if this were me, I would just scrap the rules entirely, and I would replace them with Into the Odd or Troika. Like, I would make this a Troika sphere. So let's get into the setting. They have optional rules here, like, to give people hit points. That still doesn't work for me. But let's get into the setting, right? So the setting is this planet Grock that was in its heyday a bastion of interdimensional travel. They reached a pinnacle of magic and technology, and they built this space station that capulates the world for the most part, right? It's called the Simulacrum, and then all these different beings from different dimensions started coming to Grok, and they built this machine to harness magic energy deep within the earth, and something happened to that machine, and the world got destroyed, essentially. The planet was torn apart from the inside out. You have pieces of the continent falling into the planet itself, but some got levitated into the air and became these floating islands. You have the space station that was built around it started malfunctioning, and the people that lived on that space station are now stuck there. That space station is constantly bombarding the planet's surface with radiation, so the planet is destroyed. But again, this makes I would say this would make a great Troika sphere. Or actually, if you want to make this as the home base for Troika, like replace the city of Troika with Grok, that would work. It's a great setting. I love it. It gives you charts on how to randomly develop, hexagon cities on the space station, random islands that are floating in the sky, the wastelands, which is things that are just not covered and bombarded with that radiation and underground. It is a really good setting. It is. I love the infinite possibilities that this setting gives. It's just that the rules, to me, weren't there. I mean, there's probably going to be some people that are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. If you like this style of play, it's great. But to me, it's too loosey-goosey, too abstract. People that I've shown this to turned around and were just like, well, what the hell is this, right? But it is definitely worth picking up, especially if you're a fan of, like, Troika. Or if you're looking for a, sci-fi magic setting and just supplement the new rules, this gives you everything to create a Grok setting that is unique. It is completely up to you. It is unique to you. So it is definitely worth picking this up. So if you find it, definitely get it. I got this from the Exalted Funeral website. I believe I paid about $16 for it. But it's definitely worth it. So just for the artwork alone, I love the artwork. But I will tell you, this is probably one of the most unique settings, and it's definitely worth a buy. So until then, go forth and be awesome, and have